Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we are going to take a look at how to play MythLords solo. So this is an area control deck building game, but it does come with a solo mode. So we're going to show that off now. I have an overview video on the channel, so if you're just interested in how this game plays in general, you can check out that video. It's popping up in the upper right corner at this moment. But I think the easiest way to show you how to play solo mode is actually to play through a couple hands. So that's what we're going to do, and this way you get to see the game in action as well. I'm going to go ahead and start, and then we'll have the solo player go ahead and go. So I am showing off one of the neoprene player mats. We're playing as the vampire faction, so we have Dracula, our commander, ready to go here. So since we're playing with the vampire faction, we can go ahead and give ourselves Dracula here. He is in the sanctum, and we know that our brides are going to be coming up soon, so we'll just place them right there. All right, I'm going to start off the game. Normally, I would put out any influence that I am present at a location or advance on a mission, but it's the first round of the game, so none of that's going to happen. I'm going to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would draw up to 5 if you saved any cards from the previous round. And let's take a look at what we got here. First of all, before I get to play any cards, I get to generate power in my sanctum. And that's from people who are home here in my sanctum. Right now, all I have is Dracula. He's going to give me 2 power right off the bat. I start with 1, so I'm up to 3 now. And now I'm going to play out my hand of cards. This one's pretty straightforward. This is my minions, the brides, so I'm going to put them down here below Dracula in my sanctum. And that means that they are now also in my sanctum, so I can take my standee of them and place them here as well. If I leave them here, they're going to be generating 1 additional power, but more than likely I'm going to send them out during the deployment phase. There's 2 starter cards here. They simply just generate power, so 2 more there. And then I have 2 cards here. This one I could save. This might be one that I want to save because it would add 1 to battle a character, or I could use it to add a power. I'm actually going to hold on to this one because that may come in handy, so I'll set that one down. And then this one allows me to either draw the top card of my deck or subtract 1 from a weapon. So I'm actually going to use it to subtract 1 from a weapon. I see this demonic axe out here. It looks really tasty. And we are going to go ahead and take the demonic axe for 3, or do I need... Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take the demonic axe for 3, but we reduced it, so it's 2. And I'm going to save that 3 power. The purchase card goes into my discard pile. When you're playing solo, you need to make sure you shift these down so that all the newer cards are to the left and the older cards are to the right. And that's pretty standard. Now that I have played and purchased cards, it's now time for the deployment phase. So this is where I can actually send my characters out either to the locations, or I know it's off camera, but there are some missions up here. And I'm going to choose this mission simply because it matches my faction, and it's going to allow me to claim a character from the river, or I could even steal one from someone else. So I'll put this over here so you guys can see it, but I could deploy 2 characters or take 2 deployments, and I'm just going to deploy my minions here. I'm going to put them on that first box on the left, and if they survive there at the beginning of my next turn, they'll advance 1, and then if they're still there, they'll advance off and complete that mission. That is my turn. As something that I can do on my turn, I also can always have a choice of culling a card from my deck at the end of my turn that I played. So I'm going to choose to cull one of these starter cards. That one would go back in the box, and I essentially get this power 1 more time, but then that card is removed from my deck. I could have saved it. If I had chosen to say cull the demonic axe, I don't know why I would, but I would have gotten 3 power. Here I would have gotten 1. So there's my cards. My turn is completely over. So the solo mode of the game comes with these smaller Euro-sized cards, but it does come with 2 nice reference cards, because you can actually play this game in a 2-player game and throw in the solo bot just for some added variety. So Here you could each have a card, but they're double-sided. So let's just go through a NPC turn here. So first thing we're going to do is it's going to play out 5 cards. Again, it doesn't have anybody out to place influence on, so it's going to start with simply not necessarily drawing, but just playing 5 cards, and it's only interested in gaining power for its sanctum. Oh, and I forgot, it's going to go ahead and no, it does this backwards. I apologize. It plays cards first. So it's going to add 1 here. There's 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards. Oh, all the starter ones. 4 and 5. This one actually doesn't give them any power. It would subtract ones from the deck, but the only thing they care about when they play their cards is it giving them power, or can they place anything down below their sanctum? Can they attach something to somebody? Can they play a character down? So they're not concerned with that, any of the text on the cards. Now that they have played the cards, the NPC gets to cheat a little bit, because if they had played a character in here, then they would get that character's power. But they only get the 2 power from Creature from the Deep. And so now we're going to look at how many lines they have passed here. So there's the same lines that you would look at in your sanctum, and placing your black cube if your sanctum is defeated. You're also going to look at it as far as the solo mode is concerned. So he passed 2 white lines. That means he's going to take the 2 right cards, apologies, 2 rightmost cards from the river, place them into his discard pile, and we'll shift over. And we'll draw out 2 more. Okay, so you'll notice actually that another set of brides came up, but that's because these are minions, and there's actually 2 other tokens of brides out there, so you can have multiple brides roaming around, fighting each other. All right, last thing we're going to do for the solo on its turn is take one of these cards, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to read the top action, and then we're going to read the bottom action. So let's get a little closer here with this one. This one says, move a player character on a mission back 1 space. If there are none, take the top mission card and enact the reward. So he's actually going to kick me off of this. This is kind of simulating maybe he played a card that made me move or change missions or something like that, but I was there. He kicked me off. So there's that. And then it says move an NPC character, which is him, onto the 2nd space of a mission with a player character or no character, and if there is one, then start a battle. Now, so it's gonna randomly choose one here. In typical AI fashion, it's gonna cheat, and it doesn't have to worry about any vehicles getting it to, say, the ghost ship. So I'm gonna go ahead, and since it's 3 options, I'm gonna roll a d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll see what comes up. So they're going to go to the dark forest. Now, they're still going to have to deal with the stuff that's here. So this says Sleeping Sap. Once you place a character on this location, pick the top card of the river deck. If the faction does not match yours, you lose 1 power and lay down your standee. So let's flip this over. He's hoping for his faction is the mutation faction, and this card is a witch faction. So you can see that down there. And so we'll place this back like so. And so he actually loses a power and he is paralyzed. That just means it's like stunned. He could not enact a battle. He can't do anything else. And he's also not going to gain influence, because it's not until after the influence step that he would stand himself back up again. But let's just say, for example, that I did have someone here and he was able to battle with me. You don't always battle. The NPC doesn't always battle. You don't have to battle if you are playing multiplayer. You can simply go to a location and maybe wait for reinforcements. Or maybe you have a card that allows you to kick someone out and you're just biding your time or something like that. So where it says yes, no on this card, you're going to flip over the next card of the solo deck. We already know what's on the bottom of this one. We're going to flip over this one. Well, this one has the same symbol, which is crossed swords. That would mean, yes, I'm going to battle. And so what he's going to do is he would count up all of his base power at the location. So with just the Creature of the Deep, it would be 4. And then he's going to decide how much he bids. So after you as the human player have placed your bid and placed it down secretly, you would flip over another card and you would see here he bids 2 power. So his total power would be 6. You would compare that to you, determine the winner, and then you would have to take the damage, and then you would take place the damage on his characters. He's always going to lose his minions and then his attachments before he loses his commander. If you were to see this symbol here, the blue symbol with its 2 shaking hands, that means that they would not battle. They're forming a truce, and that's that. So that's it. That is how the solo bot plays. So let's go back to me and we'll play another round. Fortunately, at the beginning of my turn, I was kicked off of this mission, so I have nowhere else to go. But I have no influence to place out. I'm going to draw 4 cards because I saved one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I saved one from last time. So now I have my 5 cards. Now I'm going to generate power. Well, since I have both of the my characters back in my sanctum, I'm actually going to get 3 power right off the bat here. 1, 2, 3. So we go from 4 to 7. Because remember, your power does not just go away at the end of your turn. Now I can play my cards. Oh, so this card here would require me to spend 2 power to place a character 3 or less from my deck or discard pile. Resurrect them from the grave. I don't have anybody else, so I'm going to use that to draw a card. And here's one of my basic cards. I'm going to gain a power with that. And then we have the ability to get a cheaper vehicle. There's none out there. Fire Strike. I'm going to hold on to Fire Strike to see whether or not I want to. But here's a good one. Here is Recruitment. So I can get a character for 1 cheaper. Now, ideally, you want to match your factions. Because generally, say, Dracula here, while in the Sanctum, he adds +1 attack power to any other vampire combatants. So I am going to, and the recruitment card is specific to his faction. So Creature of the Deep wants to recruit cheaper. If this was a human player, he would want to recruit other mutations. This is perfect, can get this card for free. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it down. Now, if I had thought about it, if I had planned my hand out better, I could have saved this card and played it now, gotten the brides out of the deck and immediately placed them down, gotten another standee, and I would just have a whole horde of brides. But I didn't play that very well, so that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and play the blacksmith to, well, let's see what comes out. If it's a vehicle, oh, I already knew what that one was. So I'm going to use that blacksmith to draw the top card of my deck. This is a great one here. I love preparations. Allows you to gain 2 power and draw the top card of my deck. So you never get deck bloat in this game because there are lots of static cards. These are going to be cards that stay out in front of you. So let's see what we got. Now we got another, which I'm going to hold on to because I'm at max power. Let's see here. We can go ahead and play Fire Strike. I have to pay 2 power to do that, but I can damage his Sanctum directly and put an influence token on his Sanctum. This is going to allow me to gain victory points if his Sanctum ever goes to 0 and has to reset. But also now I have reduced the amount that he could use to save, say, his commander by getting him closer to 5 health in his Sanctum. For now, that's all I'm going to spend. I'm going to hold on. Actually, let's just go ahead and play that card. Boom. And there we go. So I have played my cards. I am going to purchase one more thing. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to purchase these demon wings because once I get these on a character, I'll be able to travel to the ghost ship. Now, I could go back to the mission, but I am thinking let's start going after a location. So during my deployment phase, I am going to go here, and I've got a pretty good stack of power, so I'm actually going to deploy both my characters out of the Sanctum, and we'll have Dracula end up on the mission. So there we go. Ooh, another demonic axe. At this point, there is no one for me to battle with. I'm really kind of scared of the Dark Forest. It's a one-shot chance of drawing your card, and otherwise you're paralyzed. So I'm just going to leave that one be, and I can't get to the ghost ship yet. So we come back to the NPC. He's going to start by playing 5 cards. So he's going to go 1. Nothing there he can use, no text he can use. Here he gets 1, 2 power. Okay. And here he gets nothing. And then here he gets nothing. And that was how many I wasn't counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 more card for him and nothing. He basically is ignoring the text that the human players use. All right, so he did pass a line. So he's going to take Hexy the Witch here. Take it into his there we go. Ooh, more demon wings. Okay, so at this point, he now is ready to draw his card. So let's take a look at his card here. And this says, take the leftmost card from the lineup. All right, so he's added demon wings to his setup. Nothing else he needs to do. Then it says, move a character from another location or sanctum. Well, he's only got creature from the deep yet. This must be Glob. We kind of know what that card is. So he's only got himself. And I apologize. He should have stood up at the beginning of his turn, after he would have had the chance to place influence. So we can move this character now to the leftmost location with a character on it, and then begin a battle. So he is going to start a battle with us. So he has come here to land and sea. The flavor text on here doesn't do anything until after the battle. So we'll read that here in a second. All right, this is how battle ensues. So we can flip side of our card here. If an action card has the yes or no, then we're just, so goes to the leftmost location with a character on it and begin a battle. Yes, no, draw a card. So we got to flip this, and it's actually, look at that, it's actually a blue hands symbol. So he doesn't want to battle. He has decided he doesn't want to battle, but that's no fun. You guys don't want to see that. So let's, well, that's another one. And there we go. So now we found some cross swords. He wants to battle now. We don't care about any of the text on this card. We just care about this. So now I need to make a choice. How much do I want to put in? I have a base of 2 with the brides, but I have a good amount of power in my sanctum. He has a base of 4, also a pretty good amount of power. How much is it worth to me to stick around in this location? I'm going to go for all of it, and I'm going to bid my maximum, which is 6, and that's the maximum you can actually bid anyways. You can't bid more than 6. I'll play that. I don't have to play it down. We'll play that right there. So my total power now is 8. His current power is 4 plus whatever is on this card, and it's a 3. So boom, I spend all of mine. He spends 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we have to go through the process of winning and losing a battle. So I did a total of 8 to him. On top of that, during a battle, all character factions other than mutation take 3 additional hits during resolution. So this isn't great for us, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Let's start with him. He gets booted out no matter what, and I get to put an influence down. Now we need to apply damage. I did 8 points of damage to him. He doesn't have enough to save his creature from the deep, so his creature from the deep is defeated, and I get 3 victory points. Unfortunately, however, he also did a good amount of damage to me. He did 4 and 3 is 7, plus an additional 3 here, way over the health of my brides. So my brides have also been defeated. They're going to come back. They're going to sit in this away category. So unfortunately, we both you know, died in the opera catacombs, I at least was able to place a influence token that will stay there. I have not seen any cards that would take it away. Maybe there will be some in the future, but I can go back to this location again when my turn comes back around and hopefully have a head start. And there you have it. At the beginning of my turn, I would finally be able to get to do something, so I would move Dracula one spot on the mission. These guys stay away until they come back up, so I would, you know, redraw my hand, play out my cards, and we've seen how the NPC works. So hopefully that gave you a little glimpse into not only how the game plays for a human player, but how you control the NPC player if you want to play solo mode. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. If I can't answer them, I will reach out to Frank and get the answer for you. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great day.